Hey, I'm Brian, Slasher in Suits. What's going on, dudes? And today we're covering Don't Breathe 2. Still not breathing. So the story picks up with the blind man. So we're following the blind man, not the other girl. And then we have three new people breaking into this new house of his. Well, he lost all his money after the end of the very first movie, so I guess he had to downgrade to another shitty house in Detroit. But it's also 8 years later, and now apparently he has a daughter. So the daughter that died pretty much got replaced, at least in his eyes. Just like the last one, he lives a pretty isolated life. His only contact to the outside world is this lady that it's like a merchant for him, like his Grubhub, picks up food and whatnot. But the tweakers get a hold of her, and there goes that. That was sad too, because she's a soldier. She's the most likable character of the whole movie, and as soon as she got back inside her car, she got a hammer to the head. And she just put her gun away in the glove box. You're like, if only you just held on to that gun a little bit. Because the real villains here are tweakers. Drug dealing sort of army tweakers. They are even more evil than a regular tweaker because they're after little girl's organs. They want her heart. That's the only reason they're going after her. So they beat up the blind man, capture the girl, and then burn down the guy's house. Whoa, that's pretty impressive. Even for somebody who could see to throw a hammer at someone's head like that. He must have been practicing exactly that move, like hammer throwing. And I was so glad that guy died because he's the guy who killed the girl in the car. He put a marble in that guy's throat before that, so that's why he was able to track him across the room. Wow, that was pretty impressive. So he was able to notice like three little tiny waves. I'm not sure exactly he knew where those people are standing. He felt three waves and then tried to shoot three people and heard three people fall to the ground. But he left one standing. But the one standing actually was like this cholo who was like, hey man, they're trying to kill a kid. Go upstairs, man. I'm not going to get in your way. It was a very cool moment. Like, well, of all these evil people, there's still some good in some people, but it's also like, well, it's a little bit too little, too late. He is blind. At least give him a little bit more direction. So this leads to the big showdown that's coming right at the end. But another part I didn't tell you is that is her real father. So that's the motive they had initially for kidnapping her. Because they're actually taking their own daughter back because they had a meth house that exploded and the daughter sort of got away. So Stephen Lang, the blind man, kidnapped her and been raising her ever since. But these tweakers ain't got no souls and they just want her heart. The tweaker mom was in that smoke-filled room, and the guy accidentally shot her. So good. I did not like her at all. She didn't care about her daughter until she needed the heart anyway. So I'm very glad she died. That was one of those hip hip hooray moments. So she died, and then eventually the tweaker dad also died. So he got his eyes gouged out by the blind man, and he was blind himself, but he wasn't blind too long and then fell to the bottom of a pool. I don't know, man. Both those parents suck.
We had a lot of fun today. I could take her again next week.
No, home safer.
I don't know if the blind man deserves any sympathy because he was holding her hostage this whole time, man. If a girl is lost and her tweaker parents blew themselves up in a meth lab, you turn her over to the state. You don't make her think she was your daughter all these years. Or go through the correct channels and adopt her, but the blind man went through hell to try to save her, and especially that last fight took a lot out of him. There was also a doctor involved in this procedure to switch the hearts, and he got himself killed.
You know who he's not?
I was wondering why he didn't just kill this blonde goon, right? Like, I guess he would have died. He couldn't breathe until he poked a hole in his jaw, but you should just killed him. Because the blind man eventually ended up killing him a bit later anyway. Oh yeah, and there was a basement scene where this goon was actually almost gonna kill the little girl. So how you almost gonna kill the little girl when you need her heart? That's totally off mission. So the old man and him fought, but he eventually found a way to blow him up. It was probably a better fight scene than the finale. Then the last one I'm gonna mention is the dog. Oh man, I like this dog because it sucks when dogs die, even though this dog was such an asshole in the very first movie. But he can't help it. He's just a dog. He just does what he's trained to do, right? He's just loyal to his owner. So I got a total kill count of 12. So we got a total kill count of 12. So they definitely did the sequel thing and upped the body count by 3 times as much. What, 4 people died in the very first one? So it was good. It was consumable. You know, it's like not as good as the first one, but what sequels are. It's pretty much go out and see it. So, hey, drop by a live stream, comment, like, and I'll see you dudes later. Later, dudes.